Guys, what is going on? Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. The day shift. What's going on, guys? How's it going, right? And guys, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, right? Well, we are going to get into it today, guys. Here's the link. Anyone who's coming up, guys, right? Also drop it in the Discord. Guys, I will be live tonight still at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. Because I probably won't do live streams next week because I'll be out of town. I might try to, but I probably won't. So, yeah. guys, 2000s guy, what's up, dude? What's going on, man? He says he started shopping again at Walmart. Yeah. 2000s guy, you must be in Texas if you're talking about HEB. Yeah, I used to live down in San Antonio, man. Oh yeah, you live in San Antonio. Hold on, man. Yeah, San Antonio is awesome. I like it there. Lenny, what's up, dude? Steve is here. What's up, Steve? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. As usual.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Raise eyes here. What's up, man? Now, everyone, let's try and keep the language, somewhat decent in the chat, so the stream doesn't get taken down. But Raise eye, what's up, dude? One second, guys. Oops. What's going on here? I gotta do this here. Hold on. One second. That. And guys, let me just pin the StreamYard link here. Okay, there we go. Okay. Damon's here. What's up, Damon? Richard Brown's here, Steve's here, Kale's here, Remix is here, Jess Smith is here. What's going on? 8-Bit Banger, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you as usual, my friend. Good to see you. Ancient Youth. So what's up, man? Cruising PPC. What's up, guys? Guys, make sure you are subbed, man. You know how YouTube does our channels. You know? But guys, let's break some news. Here we go, guys. Let's do this.
Pride Month is here, but many big brands and retail chains are keeping celebrations low-key this year, which is a big change from years past. Now, several major corporations are dialing back marketing, merchandise, and messaging that celebrates Pride. A new Gravity research survey found 39% of more than 200 companies say they're toning down Pride-related campaigns to avoid political headaches. These fears include being targeted by activists on social media. Pride supporters warned the pullback could hurt diversity and inclusion in the long run.
Please, guys, DEI is DEAD. You know what I'm saying? Here we go.
With Gay Pride Weekend in Kalamazoo now just days away, you may notice fewer Pride Month displays this year compared to previous years. Local LGBT advocates say that's part of a reaction to a trend that's happening not just in Michigan, but a changing political landscape nationwide.
Look at that, guys. A changing political landscape nationwide. Let's go. And they expect us to give a damn? Come on, guys.
Shit.
Yeah. Hold on. Waterstar, what's up, dude? He says money is tight and corporations can't afford to piss off paying customers. Facts. Because, guys, put a 1. You heard that stupid thing where it's saying, oh, well, companies that are more diverse and have more chicks do better. Guys, put a 1 of it. You heard that. Guys, that's cap. Because companies have to be doing well in order to be able to take the risk of doing DEI hiring. You have to have an abundance of profit in order to risk it on DEI. So therefore, you're going to have the majority of companies that are doing DEI stuff will be doing well because they were doing well enough to take the risk on DEI. Guys, 2 + 2 is 4. This isn't rocket science. Look at that. Look at that. Jay, what's up, dude? Who else is here? Matthew, what's up, man? Yeah.
Thanks for joining us on News Channel 3 at 10. I'm Andy Dominiani.
And I'm Jessica Hardhorn. June is Pride Month, the time of support for the LGBTQ+ community. However, advocates this year say it's unlike others that they've seen in the past.
And the event is not garnering the same level of support from the business community that it had been, some citing safety concerns and a reduction in political pressure to conform to DEI.
News Channel 3's Abigail Taylor joining us live in the studio.
Right, guys. Pressure to conform to DEI. Absolutely insane. Come on, man. Come on.
Abigail, you spoke with organizers of Kalamazoo's annual Pride Festival. What are their thoughts going into the weekend?
Well, out front of Kalamazoo is counting down the days to one of Michigan's biggest Pride festivals. Kalamazoo Pride is all.
Your redhead can get it. You know what I'm saying? I smash.
She's like all these babes. You get their pilot lit, they can start a leaf blower.
Also the host of the organization's biggest fundraiser. But this year, they tell me it's unclear what to expect. Displays of pride can be seen in Kalamazoo year-round.
Kalamazoo is far from being a queer utopia by any means, but we do have more support here than in a lot of other spaces. There's not that many places in the world where you can go and have rainbows literally painted in the streets.
A permanent sign of LGBTQ+ support since 2018. But in 2025, many U.S. businesses are pulling back on Pride, according to the Associated Press. And among companies still sponsoring Pride events, many don't want their brand affiliated.
But what we are seeing is more concerns about safety and security, being tagged in social media posts.
Of course, guys. Of course. We heard this person, that's the representative for these knuckleheads. We all know what this person was going to look like, right, guys? I mean, guys, let's be honest.
About being mentioned kind of beyond Pride, so they're comfortable with their advertising within Pride itself, but they don't really want their name to trickle out past the event itself.
Heather Sanford is the communications and advocacy manager of Kalamazoo's Outfront Center. She says that giving resources to LGBTQ+ people in need is becoming increasingly difficult between the economy and cuts to...
Guys, imagine the whole LDHD TV thing being your identity to where you need some type of outreach. What is like if you're a dude who's into dudes, how does that stop you from working? That's how crazy this whole thing is, you know?
DEI programs.
We are seeing that impact. It's harder for our organization to sustain itself. We're seeing that on a very fiscal level, that donations are drying up.
Sanford says the critical resources Outfront offers, like emergency housing, could be at risk, partially depending on the outcome of Outfront's biggest yearly fundraiser. Kalamazoo Pride event organizers tell me that year after year, record-breaking amounts of people come out.
Captain Palsy, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Guys, I did drop the StreamYard links, so anyone who wants to come on up, guys, we will do another probably 15 minutes in the chat for everyone, and then the chat will go members only, guys. So please make sure to hit the join button for a membership, or hit the StreamYard link to call in, guys. And yeah, we'll do that.
Now to Arcadia Creek Festival Place for the Pride Festival, but they're worried this year could look a little different. Past years surpassing 26,000 attendees, Sanford says they expect a similar turnout of people this year, but what they don't expect to add up to years past, the amount of money raised.
We have a pay what you can option explicitly listed in the ticket purchasing portal.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Pay what you can? What kind of foolishness is that, right? That's a woke, liberal, stupid way to think. Pay what you can.
For many valid reasons, ticket sales are down. We're hearing from a lot more folks that they can't pay the full ticket price.
Regardless, Sanford says Pride is about welcoming everyone.
This is the
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
visibility and community we have now that we couldn't have before. And that deserves to be celebrated, especially when it's under attack.
Someone has their kid there.
Because it reminds us how important it is to fight for it.
Look at that, guys. Steve says, why does it cost anything to get in? That's not inclusion. That's pretty funny. Actually, Laughing Man, what's up, dude? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Godfather's here. Will K is here. D is here. What's up, guys? Good to see you, man.
Sanford.
Hold on, guys. Let's do this. I think there was another news story here. Hold on.
Pride preparations are underway tonight. Friday is the first day of the three-day celebration in Des Moines. KCCI's Pepper Purpura is live in the East Village.
Purpura?
Village, which will be home base for the celebration. Pepper organizers say funding the celebration this year was a little more difficult.
Do you think? Ohio, Iowa, Florida.
Yes, Stacy. Several sponsors say they're
Pepper Purpura. What kind of stupid name is that?
no longer funding Central Iowa Pride events. That's part of a nationwide trend that we're seeing this year. So I reached out to Pride organizers about which companies are stepping back or stepping up for Pride Month. As some corporate sponsors pull the plug on Pride.
Happy Pride.
A Central Iowa celebration says it's one of the few still able to balance its budget.
It makes me proud that we can come into this strong in a year where some other festivals have struggled.
Like dozens of other celebrations across the country, Capital City Pride says several sponsors pulled out of the Des Moines event this year.
A few of our sponsors stepped back this year, but we've had more sponsors come in to take that place. So Capital City Pride has actually not experienced an overall budget reduction because some other...
Isn't this funny, guys? How they're all loud and proud and independent and stuff, but they're being funded by other people. They're basically forcing people to fund this stuff. And guys, once again, nowadays, especially men, they could be shamed into doing stuff. Well, Captain Palsy, D, and Lenny, you guys have to support Pride. And now young men are saying, or else what? Or else what? What are you going to do about it? And they have nothing. They have nothing. Bro, what's up, dude?
Other groups have stepped up.
Nationally, Pride organizers say a loss of corporate sponsorship is creating real problems. In New York, Pride is facing a $750,000 budget.
Look at that, guys. $750,000! Hey, guys. Oh, this is a good question. Guys, what do you have more of, black fatigue or LDHD TV fatigue? Fatigue, right? Put a B for black fatigue and an L for LDHD TV fatigue. Raul, you live in New York. Why? Why? Why, dude? Why? Raul, dude, no, dude, you're in New York? Bro, What are you doing, man?
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
Look at that. Everyone's saying both. L, L, L. L. Yeah, guys, yeah, right now I would say both. Guys, I would actually say Black Fatigue more than anything else at this point, because I think Black Fatigue has opened the door for L Fatigue. Oh yeah, John Wilson says he got out of New York. Yeah, a good job, man. Guys, we have Orange Pliskin over here. I mean, Snake Pliskin over here. John Wilson got out of New York. You know what I'm saying? Unsupervised. What's up, dude? OM's here. Orange here. What's up, guys? Good to see all you guys, right? Day shift. What's going on? Guys, we will do the next probably like 15 minutes in the chat for everyone, and then it will go members only. So guys, make sure to hit the join button or the link in the description. Or guys, you have to hit the StreamYard link pinned at the top to call in. So let's go, guys. Yeah.
Shortfall. St. Louis is shy by $150,000, and Kansas City lost $200,000, roughly half the event's budget. In Valley Junction, Pride organizer Val Viak says she's noticed the corporations seem hesitant.
So corporately, I try to go after all the big name people.
Oh, guys, look at this. Hold on. Where is it? Guys, look at this sign. Science saves lives. And it says gender is a social construct. Look at that, guys.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. Bamboozled. Led astray. Run amok.
Guys, isn't it funny how they talk about the science when it comes to climate change, but then when you talk about like Transformers can't be Transformers, all of a sudden science goes out the window, right? Isn't that funny how that works?
And seem hesitant.
So corporately, I try to go after all the big name people. And what I've kind of received back is just radio silent.
Of course. I mean, guys, come on. Look at this idiot. And guys, once again, all these BLM signs, guys, anyone who expects me to give to the BLM cause, guys, this is it.
We're out here building a new nation for black people. It's time for you to start paying some dues, nigga. I ain't giving you shit.
It's from a lot of people.
Business data research company Gravity Research polled companies nationwide and found the top reason companies are scaling back on Pride Month is because of politics. Roughly 6 in 10 companies in the study cite the Trump administration as the top reason they're
Look at that, guys. See? Look at that. Look at that, guys. Laughing Man. Wait, I don't know if you read my text. Which text? In the chat? What are you talking about? Yeah, dude. I read them all. Guys, so I read the entire chat as you guys are chatting, guys. The thing is, guys, I can only do this to a certain point. Because guys, once the channel starts growing and we have 300, 400, 500 people in the chat, I won't be able to, but because I read all of your chats, right? So, and guys, if you do call in, please make sure that your microphone is clear and that there's no background noise. But thanks for the $1.99, man. I appreciate that. Thanks so much.
Seriously. Garlic croutons, dude.
Let's see. No air on the membership. Guys, if you're gifted a membership, it's usually for a month and then you have to re-sign on your own, right? So guys, I have subscribers who will gift out memberships instead of doing super chats, which is an awesome thing for them to do, right? But guys, those only last a month. So if you want to keep that membership going, you have to hit the join button and become a member. So yeah, Waterstar, yeah. Guys, why don't they go to their beloved Palestine, right? You know what I'm saying? Why don't they go there? Come on now.
Support. In Iowa, smaller companies are keeping the festivities afloat.
It's all been kind of local sponsorships.
Small business owners like Amy Hilmes of Happy in Valley Junction are covering the cost instead.
I think I doubled my sponsorship here in Valley Junction.
See, they're there begging for people's money. Hardworking Americans. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. What a joke. Guys, man, shoot, man. They want to increase how much money? Hold on, where's she at? Where's this thunderhead?
People.
Hold on. Where's this knucklehead at? This person wants us to increase our funding? Shoot.
I ain't gonna lie. The only thing I'm finna increase is my motherfucking fist across your goddamn face. That's what the fuck, that's what's about to get increased.
Unsupervised. No worries, man. Thanks for the support, man. Guys, just make sure you are subbed, guys. Guys, every couple of months, go and make sure that you're subbed to all your favorite Red Pill guys. Because, guys, you know how YouTube does us. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, hold on. I think we have another story here. Hold on.
All right, we're just over a month away from the San Francisco Pride Parade celebration, but this year's event is coming with some challenges for organizers. They say it's partly because of threats against the LGBTQ plus community that are unfortunately happening all around the country.
ABC 7 News reporter Tara Campbell talked with SF Pride organizers about how they're overcoming hurdles and how we can all help.
Just weeks away.
We can all help by giving them money is what they're trying to say. Come on, man.
From San Francisco Pride celebrations, and the show will go on, despite losing hundreds of thousands of dollars in corporate sponsorships.
We're going to get to the event.
That shit is a 2-pack of ass. The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
Have the event.
In April, SF Pride announced 5 long-term partner companies pulled out of this year's Pride, some of which have since returned.
People like Benefit Cosmetics, La Crema. We are talking to another company that dropped out.
But Executive Director Suzanne Ford says it's the local companies that have really stepped up.
The St. Francis Foundation, the San Francisco Foundation, SFO is a new sponsor. Levi's returned after a 2-year absence.
But Ford says the organization is still roughly $200,000 short in funding.
I think the real question now with fundraising is what shape are we going to be in when we get on the other side? And will we be able to sustain the organization and start planning for 2026?
There's a lot of uncertainty and there's a lot of...
Someone says, no threats. People are tired of you shoving this bull down our throats. So someone says that this person's LDHC TV, but the event's trash. And once again, they're begging for people's money. Someone says, who cares? Look at that, man.
Of fear of how many organizations and community groups are going to survive during these times.
Organizations fighting not only federal funding cuts, but Governor Gavin Newsom's proposed budget also slashes millions of dollars from LGBTQ plus programs.
This is not the time to be silent. Whether if you can support with small dollars, right? Like every dollar counts, but if you cannot.
Every dollar counts to my bank account too. What are you talking about?
It's really calling your representatives, making sure that your voice is heard.
And SF Pride is sharing in that message of showing up.
If we have a very successful event and if people come out to support SF Pride, we're going to be okay. If every person that comes to the celebration just gives $10, we will be well positioned.
Please. Look at that. There's one more here, guys. Hold on. Where was it?
Welcome back, 8:45 the time. We are 3 days into June, meaning Pride Month is in full swing. It's a time dedicated to honor the LGBTQ plus community. And over the last decade, much of corporate America hasn't been shy about proclaiming its support. But this year, many retail chains are going silent.
Our Queen City News Chief Business Correspondent Taylor Young joining us this morning. And Taylor, there's a major shift happening here.
Yeah, I think especially when you consider the fact that over the last couple of years, there has been discourse even in the LGBT.
Ugh, That's a weird looking broad. Right. What? Her face, it looks like she's wearing a mask of her own face. You know what I'm saying?
Q plus community that some of these companies.
Yes. Who said that? Lenny. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Guys, they can thank those migrants for taking up the funds, right? Yeah. Look at that. They did the whole sanctuary thing, and now they have no money.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
May have been going overboard with their support for Pride, with the flags, the merch, the social
Paul Sargent, what's up, dude? Good to see you,
media
man.
posts. There were questions kind of over, is this genuine support or is this marketing just to make a profit here?
See? So guys, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Well, you have to, even though you're a corporation, you're giving us millions and billions of dollars, you still need to prove to us. You need to prove to us that you support us. Guys, you never, ever, ever bend the knee to the wokey wokes. Because guys, once you bend the knee, they will take that quasi-perceived moral high ground. It beats you over the head with it. Guys, put a 1 if you agree. There's no group on earth that's better at moving the goalpost than these wokey wokes. They will get you to bend the knee for one thing, and then next thing you know, they'll move the goalpost and move it, and you'll just be trying to chase them all the time. And they don't support because they're all communists anyways. They don't contribute. They don't produce. They don't do anything. They're the most useless, ungrateful, self-centered, narcissistic, moronic group of people that have ever walked the planet Earth. And that's why in general 304 support them. Because they're useless. Because they want to be called brave and get all this credit validation for not doing anything at all. How does that make sense? C. Gordon, what's up, dude? Guys, we'll do 3 more minutes in the chat for everyone, and then it will go members only. So, guys, make sure to hit the join button, or, guys, hit the StreamYard button to call in. You know what I'm saying?
So to go from that, the community that you're showing support to now saying, oh, maybe we should be quiet about this topic is a major shift to happen really within just 1 year. And to get
maybe you shouldn't have browbeat the people who were helping you and tell them how they should do it. You're already costing them millions, and then you have the nerve to critique them. Look at that.
A sense of how corporate America is approaching Pride Month 2025. We can turn to a recent survey by Gravity Research, which polled more than 200 corporate executives.
I told you guys. I told you. Look at those B-dubs, guys. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Look.
Polled more than 200 corporate executives leading up to Pride. It found 30.
Perfect timing with the trumpet.
Look at this, guys. This is a well-built road.
9% said they plan to reduce Pride-related engagement this year. And I think even more notable, not a single respondent said they plan to increase engagement. This includes sponsorship events, posting supportive messages on social media, and selling Pride themes.
I said it once, guys. We'll increase something for Pride, right?
I ain't gonna lie. The only thing I'm finna increase is my motherfucking fist across your goddamn face. That's what the fuck, that's what's about to get increased.
Merchandise, nearly 70% say they were actively preparing for backlash as a result of these changes. And I will say, while public-facing support is on a decline this year, companies say their internal engagement with employees will most likely be staying put. So what this tells me is that the message is clear. Support is not necessarily going away.
Guys, please don't type in all caps in the chat, please. Thank you very much, because my mods will think that it's spam, and I don't want you to get banned, okay?
It's just getting a lot quieter.
What are we seeing with this shift, Taylor?
So I think that
people finally have some goddamn common sense. Guys, I'm not seeing an issue here, right? Guys, the last 5 years, 6 years, 5 years. America's just been stuck in woke, bizarro world. And guys, we're going to look back on media and politics and look back at 2020 to 2024 and just think, what in the world is going on? You know what I'm saying? What an absolute joke. When you let the people that don't know anything, that don't produce anything, that have no responsibility and no accountability, run things. That's what you get. This 2020 to 2024.
There's two major things that are happening here. The biggest one is overall political shift.
Thomas Brown's in Hawaii. What's up, man?
Since Trump has taken office earlier this year. So according to the survey, 61% of respondents cite the administration as a reason for kind of reimagining how they show support during Pride. Political activists and GOP policymakers were also mentioned. And I do think that this stems from the administration earlier this year kind of threatening to investigate both the private sector and federal agencies for offering DEI programs. And I think the second, and this may be more of a coincidence, the second reasoning is just companies are really kind of slashing their marketing and advertisement budgets. The reasons vary, but a lot of it is due to just the tariffs, the uncertainty there, and just the economic kind of environment that we're in right now. So while the major reason is kind of this political shift, this is also just adding to that overall reduction in advertisements.
Other than not as many Pride-related advertisements like you're talking about, our social media, other impacts that you see through this?
Yeah, so when we think about corporate America kind of taking a back seat
Dante, what's up, dude?
with this issue.
Yeah. John Carlo. Hawaii's always voted Democrat. Always. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to, because it's technically on the West Coast. I mean, like all the West Coast liberal stuff that you guys see from California is in Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, dude. Thomas Brown, man, thanks for the membership, my friend. I appreciate the support, man. Appreciate that. Guys, we have 90 people watching. We have 48 likes, guys. Please stop. Take a second. Please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much for that.
We're not just talking about ads or flags or merch. I mean, we're also talking about donations and sponsorships. So we have already seen major.
Giancarlo, those are Japanese Americans, man. They aren't Japanese people. Japanese people come and visit, but they don't live there, you know? Cruising PC, man. Thanks for the membership, my friend. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. Let's go.
Organizations see sponsorships and major corporations kind of pull back in donating money to them. And this is kind of.
And it's so funny because, guys, I don't think that any of these companies wanted to support this in the first place. But here's the thing, guys. They pulled out of Human Rights Council Diversity Index crap. And then Orange Man basically gave them a reason. They're like, we're afraid of the Orange Man. No, they're not. They never wanted to give these millions of dollars away anyways.
Impacting their organizations.
Tom's wonderful. What's up, dude? What's up, man?
Also impacting Pride celebrations. We've seen several across the country kind of cancel certain events. So I do think another interesting part of this, and it kind of goes back to the being more quiet, these organizations say they have seen an increase in corporations donating, but saying, do not announce that I'm donating, do not put my name on anything. Mm-hmm. So again, I don't think that this support is going away. It's just kind of being done behind closed doors.
Like underground support almost.
Yeah.
All right, Taylor, thank you.
All right, guys. Here's Memphis. We'll do this last one, and then I have a video. So.
South Pride is celebrating 50 years this weekend, but the Mid-South's largest
50 years of this foolishness, guys.
This LGBTQ festival and parade on Saturday may not be as big and vibrant as maybe they had planned in the past.
Yeah, lots of changes this year. And cities nationwide, including Memphis, have seen major corporations stop backing Pride celebrations. This year, ABC 24's Leah Williams joins us with more on how the organizers in Memphis are planning to scale back. Leah.
Yvonne Rubin, Mid-South Pride organizers told me that security and creating a fun, safe space for the 50th Memphis Pride Festival is still a top priority despite losing those multiple corporate sponsors. How this comes months after President Donald Trump rolled back federal transgender protections and DEI programs. Cuts for Pride celebrations are not just hitting Memphis, though. Major cities like San Francisco and New York City are hundreds of thousands of dollars short after those corporate donors dropped out. Here in Memphis, we don't know the exact dollar amount lost, but Mid-South Pride President Vanessa Rodley told me she's prepared to scale back.
We did lose quite a bit of sponsors. You would normally see things like at the stages, maybe we would have huge monitors and live streaming and you can see the entertainers and things like that. We scaled back on this year. We feel like it's important for us, one, to be here, and then also then to provide the safety.
And those safety measures include a clear bag policy, hiring private security, and enclosing Robert Church Park. Now, again, despite the loss of some funding for this event, Rodley also wants to highlight this historic 50th year.
As we prepare and we talk about it with the team, you know, it's like we're part of history now, you know, as we are celebrating.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Celebrating the 50th, we too are part of that history, making sure that we are creating something that is memorable and gives you the experience and you feel the history.
Look at that, guys, right? Look at that. Wait, Impact, hold on, guys. I'm all over the place. Impact San Francisco's vacant storefront tax. What? Hold on, guys. Guys, why would anyone live in California? Why?
2 years ago, San Francisco passed a tax on vacant storefronts meant to penalize landlords who continue to leave their commercial spaces empty.
So the question
we're asking... Whoa. Wait a second. So they think that it's a landlord's fault if their storefront is vacant when they defunded the police and let the criminals and the junkies take over? What the fuck is going on with California, guys? Why would anyone in their right mind live in California? What kind of communist dictatorship is California? Absolutely insane. Garrett Grant, what's going on, my friend? What is going on? And guys, make sure to hit the like button. Guys, you can hit the StreamYard if you want to call in. Hit the join button for a membership so you can be in the chat. Yeah, guys.
This afternoon is how...
Yeah, John James, fruits and nuts are plentiful in California. That's all. There's plenty of fruits and there's plenty of nuts in California. That's fucking hilarious.
How is that going? Today we have an update on why there are still so many of these unfilled storefronts.
At ABC 7 News Building in Better Bay Area reporter Leanne Mendez was here with what's working, what's not working.
That's right. Well, let me just tell.
Nothing's working. Nothing's working. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Come on.
I'll tell you first that San Franciscan voters voted for.
Hey guys, all you guys, Hawaii's had a really. So before the opioid thing hit Hawaii, there was a bad meth problem in Hawaii all during the 2000s and the early 2010s. But they just didn't talk about it because they didn't want it to hurt tourism, you know?
For this tax, right? And you're going to be alarmed when I tell you this. The downtown area was not included in that tax, even though
seems like an oversight.
They have the most vacancies. And we're going to tell you why, okay? So stand by. So this tax is for those commercial corridors in neighborhoods that for years had a problem filling those vacancies. We're talking about 2,700 parcels. What we found was that while it seems to be working, there are still owners and leaseholders who don't understand the law.
Leave it sitting empty and the city will tax you.
Look at that.
The entire idea of the tax wasn't to tax people, it was to encourage them to get realistic about their expectations of.
You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
The idea of that tax wasn't to tax people, right?
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Guys, anyone on here who's on the West Coast, in the Northwest, in New York City, guys, please move to the South or move to the Midwest. You know? Guys, that's the beautiful thing about America. See, guys, the UK is basically cooked because everywhere you go, it's just trash, right? Canada is basically cooked, right? But guys, the United States, as much hyperbole as we say that America's cooked, guys, move to the South. Move to a rural part of the South. You know what I'm saying? So,
Rent for small businesses.
Meaning, stop being greedy.
As Supervisor Peskin said, it's the most avoidable tax there is. You don't.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Have to get taxed. You know, just rent your damn storefront.
It seems to be working in many commercial corridors. Let's take North Beach, which had a 10% vacancy rate right before the tax was passed in 2020.
It's half of that now. Same is true for neighborhood commercial districts all over the city.
The Haight-Ashbury Commercial District is another example of the effectiveness of the tax.
Our bars, Hobson's Choice, they just signed a lease there, and Club Deluxe, there's another.
Children's store called.
We're below 14.
Any space vacant for more than 182 days would have to pay $250 per foot of the width of the building. So if the frontage space is 25 feet wide, multiply that by $250. The tax would then be $6,250.
What?
It doubles after the second year and so on. Here's what many don't realize. All property owners or tenants must file the tax form every year in the Bayview.
Offer something to people in my
knuckleheads. This is another DEI thing. Hold on. Uh-oh.
But first, before we go to her, you're not going to believe this.
Here's all, guys.
Or, I don't know.
You guys remember Orange Man struck down all the DEI stuff, right?
Maybe you will. Because you see, it turns out that despite Donald Trump's push to eliminate DEI programs on American campuses, well, some campus administrators haven't gotten the message. And they're trying to keep sneaking this stuff in under the radar.
Here we go.
Now, advocacy group Accuracy in Media has just released this vision of University of North Carolina Administrator Janique Sanders admitting on camera that they're keeping DEI going.
Yes.
Have a look.
So we had a former...
Of course, this dunderhead is a DEI person, right? Right, guys? I mean, look at it. Come on, guys. Look at this person right here. Look at
a pot smoking slut.
I guess you would consider it a DEI policy.
Yeah.
It also established a CDO presence on this campus. I'm just going to give you the real spiel.
Yeah.
About to hide it.
Please.
I have a general feeling that you're fine. And that you're back and say, like, hey, she told me about all the stuff.
And what?
Look at that, guys. Guys, I'm telling you. You could Thanos snap 99.696% of B-dubs away, and the world would be a much better place. I'm dead ass serious. Look at that. All right, guys, here we go. Okay.
Well, I'm not sure if you're aware or not, but it is June 2nd to be exact. And one thing that I've noticed after checking out some companies on X, it would appear that things aren't as festive this year as they normally are. Now, Sesame Street sure is jumping in on the Pride Parade. There's a clip going around of them. Now, I'll show you a little bit of it towards the end of this video, but it is funny because that's a very publicly funded show. I think it's time to defund Sesame Street. But yeah, big brands, they're pulling back on their celebrations this year, and I've noticed it. A lot of people have noticed it. Really interesting video here. We're going to come back to that article. A lot of these companies are choosing not to virtue signal this year.
Right.
Very, very interesting. Here's an Asmon Gold video. Let's go through this.
So guys, here's the thing. All this is because these knuckleheaded pride people, right? They had won in 2020, 2021, 2022. They had bullied these corporations into giving them money, right? What did Homeboy say?
Victory has defeated you.
Dude, they overstepped. They got greedy. You know what I'm saying? Then Orange Man brought the hammer down, you know?
No change.
So there's IBM.
Microsoft?
That's surprising.
No change.
Microsoft.
Xbox?
This one's also surprising.
No change.
Yeah.
No change.
So guys, no rainbow flags on all these Twitters.
Xbox is big because I mean Halo. Halo hasn't changed. They were showing off their new Pride skins. Destiny was as well. That's Bungie. It's a totally different thing, but I mean, I still kind of Halo and Bungie. That shows you how 343 has kind of failed that property. Because they've been associated with Halo longer than Bungie at this point, right? I kind of feel like they have.
Disney.
No change.
Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that, guys. Look at that. No Pride stuff from Disney. Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, Disney.
Target.
This is the big one. Target.
No change. Starbucks.
Target's tired of losing money. This is a big one. No change.
Even Starbucks roached out on the gays? Of all the people that roach out on the gays, you're going to expect Starbucks to do it? Damn.
This is the Trump effect.
Wow. Okay, let's see here.
You fatigued people. And honestly, I don't think it was that bad until the push to, like, push it on kids. That was the real turning point with a lot of people. Like, you know, I'm actually a pretty live and let live guy. I just don't like, I don't like the propaganda in schools. And
guys, that's the thing about, I think, all of us too, right, guys? Guys, do whatever you want to do in your own home, right? But guys, don't try and make it part of the public school curriculum. Don't put it on every single show and TV show and movie. Why? It makes no sense.
On children's television and shit like that. That's just too much. And, you know, I'm not the only one. That's like the majority of America that shares those views. So, I mean, that was, like it or not, a big factor because the DNC, they're all about it, pushing it, saying it's amazing, great, this is progress. And they totally ignored the American people on it, and they paid for it.
Bank of America.
But, you know, midterms are coming, and Republicans do the best to get in the way of their own progress. So I'm sure midterms will be interesting.
Nothing. No change. Nothing. What about Blizzard?
Blizzard's a big one.
No change. What about World of Warcraft?
No change.
Also no change. Google's homepage. Let me see. Google.
Yeah, Google.
Nothing.
Not changed.
Yeah. Did Google change?
Actually,
no,
nothing.
Guys, Google hasn't changed either.
Even the Google homepage.
That's a big one. I don't think you realize how big that is.
Wow. There it is. The image, kind of. Yeah, I don't know, guys. And hover over it. Well, let me see.
Okay.
Hover over it. It might actually be over this year. Holy shit. Or not really over, but like the mass corporate support for it might be over.
Yeah. Guys, what do you think, right? Cooked.
There's no way Overwatch didn't make any posts about Pride.
That's crazy.
There's no shot. Like, if that's true, then it's really dead. Well,
so that's a good 2-minute clip to kind of show you that
there it is, guys. Right?
Is over when Mulvaney thing that progressive stances. Bud Light and Target.
We'll go through this, guys. Yeah, here you go. Oops, sorry.
Is telling you, yeah, they're pulling back. They're pulling back. And a lot of that, Bud Light and Target. Bud Light has been damaged.
Guys, Bud Light still hasn't recovered. And Gillette still hasn't recovered. Target is never going to recover. You know what I'm saying?
Because of their progressive stances. That Dylan Mulvaney thing that they did, what was that, 2 years ago? That had long-term damage to Bud Light. And the reason I say that is because they didn't get all of their shelf space back.
Yep, that's true.
When it comes to booze, the cooler is king. And it used to be when you would walk in to a store and you go to their beer section, Bud Light was king. Bud Light would have, you know, if it was a cooler, there'd be a dedicated cooler to that shit. And that's not the case anymore. I never understood why. Bud Light tastes like shit. But, you know, if that's your thing, yeah, God bless you. But, you know, that shelf space is king. And how it works, at least from my understanding, because I covered this, when there comes time for an evaluation and people will go and look at their stock at some point in the year. And
well, guys, the reason why Bud Light did so well is because of the advertising. You know what I'm saying? Before the whole Dylan thing, you know, they had Post Malone, they had all these, you know, Bud Light things, or what, you know, and didn't they have that dilly thing? You know what I'm saying? Not anymore.
They'll decide, you know, okay, well, what beers are we going to put here? How much are we going to have more? Like, that used to be a big thing for them, and they lost a lot of that space. A lot of habits were broken from that. So people that will habitually buy the same thing or the same brand because people like what they like. A lot of people switched to other brands, and a lot of those brands took over some of the space that Bud Light used to occupy. So they lost.
Yeah. Yep.
Unless it's changed, but as far as I know, they've still lost shelf space at these coolers because of what happened.
They're cooked
during that. Well, this yesterday.
Okay, guys, here we go. Here, I have an article here, right? 19 companies pulling back their support for Pride. Okay, so for years, major corporations publicly celebrated the LDHD TV community. They donated to pro LDHD TV charities and sponsored Pride Month each June. This was supposedly part of a principal commitment to inclusion, including the full spectrum of sexual orientations and gender identities. But in the recent years, the Republicans, including Orange Man, have decided that valuing diversity, including the LDHD TV constitutes discrimination against straight white men. There you go, guys. So it's all you cisgendered hetero white men, right? Look at this. Did a guy write this? Jesus, look at this. Go away. So Lowe's. So guys, here's some of them. Lowe's ended its participation in surveys conducted by the HRC. So guys, the HRC is the one that has that corporate equity index that they were trying to browbeat people on to say, if you didn't have a good score, you hate people. Lowe's is one of 19 companies that ended their support of the Pride parades. So, all right, guys, number one, Dyson. Dyson had participated in Pride events in Chicago, Toronto, and Mexico City. This year, it no longer is listed as a sponsor for Chicago Pride. Nivea, they sponsor Chicago Pride. This year, they didn't list Chicago Pride. Tiffany & Co. Tiffany & Company. They also didn't list themselves there, right? All these blue chip sponsors, guys. You know? Kelvin, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Toyota. So Toyota was a sponsor in October. That's right. So Toyota publicly said last year, no more LDHG TV stuff. But in October, they had announced that they would halt the sponsorship of LDHG TV events. They did not renew the 3-year deal that had expired. Capital One. Capital One is not listed as a sponsor for Miami Beach Pride this year. Did not respond. Guys, this is the or else. This is the or else, guys. Men are asking, or else what? Oh, Giancarlo, Lenny, Remixer, you have to support women. And you guys say, or else what? They have no answer. You have to not sound like a misogynist, or else what? You have to believe in DEI, or else what? Right? They have nothing. They have no retort to that. Nothing. UPS. This year, they are not the sponsor for Atlanta Pride. Disney. Look at this, guys. Is not listed as sponsor for Long Beach Pride. DoorDash is absent from the list of this year's Long Beach Pride corporate sponsors. Live Nation, they're like Ticketmaster, no longer listed as a sponsor for LA Pride. Anheuser-Busch, look at that, has withdrawn its support in San Francisco, St. Louis Pride, and where the company is based. Pride organizers said that losing Anheuser-Busch to support after working with them for 30 years left the festival short of $150,000. Guys, so they've been part of Pride for 30 years. And they pulled out. Look at that. Guys, look. In 2023, the HRC had removed Anheuser-Busch from the top of its corporate equity index after it said that it had failed to properly respond to the backlash over the Dylan Mulvaney thing. So, guys, they were compromising their morals and principles in their audience by putting Dylan Mulvaney here and then got kicked off of it anyways. Guys, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Look at that. Diego the McGinnis, no longer part of Long Beach Pride. Pepsi, no longer part of Pride or New York Pride. Nissan, I'm surprised Nissan has the money to even do this because they're just trash anyways. No longer part of New York Pride. Price Waterhouse Coopers. I don't even know who they are. But they are no longer part of New York Pride. Citibank is no longer part of New York Pride. MasterCard, no longer part of New York Pride. Booz Allen Hamilton, no longer part of DC Pride. Look at that, guys. Deloitte is no longer part of DC's Pride. Look at that, guys. You know? What a joke. What an absolute joke. There was another one here. Here you go. Corporations, they're pulling their support from Pride. Look at that, guys. Make this bigger. So this is from New York Pride. The 750 grand. Guys, here's the thing. It's like they didn't have a contingency plan. They thought that the gravy train would keep on going. So, guys, this is talking about what we saw before. Hold on. Get out of here. Anheuser-Busch. Hard-won queer rights are under attack. Please. Look at that. Over the last decade, corporate America has begun to increasingly support pride festivals, willingly or unwillingly, right, guys? Look at that. Critics lamented that corporations only supported LDHG TV with big displays, but were silent the rest of the year. So, guys, look. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. Look at that. So the first Pride was in 1970. Look at that. Google, Home Depot, Nissan, Adidas, and Clorox all said that they're not going to be supporting Pride Toronto. All of that wasted money. They've been wasting all this money for all these years. You know? What a joke. These American companies, they're showing their true colors. We thought that they were with the community. Clearly they're not. All they have is shaming language, guys. Look at that. What a joke. Guys, think about all the millions and millions of dollars that they're going to get in increased business and in not having to donate. Yeah, Lenny's right. I'm proud of him too. Look at that. What a joke. And they're clueless, guys. They can't fathom why companies would want to do this. Look at that, guys. And the thing that I don't understand, guys, if you're in an area, if you're LDHG TV, you're in an area that you feel doesn't support Pride, move, right? Now, guys, here we go to TikTok. What is this about, guys? Look at this right here. Look at this right here.
We now can ban Vapodo.
What's the tea with BarkBox? Let's talk about BarkBox and Pride Month. I have my tea. Go get yours. Somebody complained, obviously, some hetero.
So, guys, BarkBox is a dog food corporation, and someone internally was like, guys, I don't think that we should be supporting Pride without supporting the opposite side. And then someone leaked that, and now they have to apologize. Hold on, let me see if I can find the. Here it is. Wait.
This is such a bullshit non-apology because if you look at their social media, they've done exactly like they said they would in their internal memo. And they haven't posted about Pride.
So what's the tea with BarkBox?
Okay.
Let's talk about BarkBox and Pride Month. I have my tea.
Wait,
go get
here it
yours.
is.
Somebody complained, obviously, some hetero was upsetero. This message came out from Bark and basically saying that they're pausing all paid ads for all of their Pride merch and Pride dog toys because heaven forbid the dogs should have rainbows. Basically, they said while celebrating Pride is something that they think is important, they feel like in the political climate it's not something that is good for them to do. Here's the thing, existence of gay, lesbian, LGBTQIA plus people is not political.
Oh, please.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
And guys, here's the thing. You guys notice, okay? Now, guys, here's the thing. The L, the G's, and the B's cannot be political, right? Because, guys, there are, matter of fact, I know a guy and a girl that are L and G that are Republicans, right? But guys, the T's are always political, always. The T plus are always political, always. You know what I'm saying?
They're just people, like, living and existing in their life.
And so are we. But guys, they have to tell us. Guys, you know what? In the chat, guys, let me know if you agree. LDHD TV people now are like vegans. You guys know how vegans just can't be vegans without telling the whole goddamn world that they're vegans and then just bothering you about eating steaks? That's how the LDHD TVs are now, right, guys? You know?
And okay, so we got this message. Then the CEO posted this, and he's probably like, shoot, we're going to be the next target, right? Like, crashing stocks. So he issued he issued an apology. And I was like, it's pretty cool. What kind of CEO issues an apology? So I went over to their TikTok page.
And he's a white man. Watch. She's going to say, he's a white man.
Scroll. Not a single Pride item posted at all. So I was like, well, let me go look at their Facebook. Nothing. This apology.
Do you guys see how these knuckleheads say that you have to prove something to them? They have this inflated sense of ego based on nothing. And this is what communism and socialism does, guys. It gives the people who don't work, the people who don't contribute, it gives them this ego where they think that they can dictate to all of us that do work and produce. They can dictate our lives based on some stupid sense of friggin' morality that they've made up.
Performative. The previous statement stands. If you're not going to share the items, they're not going to be sold, so you can donate a percentage of them. It's all performative. Either support a community or don't. But don't do these fake apologies.
Remixer. He says socialism enslaves the workers to the parasites. Yes, and that the parasites usually end up being the ruling class that decides what's fair and what's not fair, and ends up being the enforcement arm that destroys anyone that they perceive as taking more. Because guys, they disarm the population, they end free speech. You know what I'm saying? And then they want to say, well, you know, we perceive that Giancarlo or Lenny or Rajai is hoarding more based on blank, and then you don't have any firearms, so how do you stop them, right?
If you're not going to stand behind what you said. This is just ridiculous. And another example of MAGAs or hetero people getting upset over a rainbow, because who cares if someone's dog has a rainbow toy? Is that really going to impact your life if my dog has a rainbow toy that makes me smile? Is that really going to affect you, Karen? No, it's not. Anyway, do what you want.
What a joke. What a joke. Okay, here we go, guys.
I'm happy that companies are finally realizing
Guys, these guys rate the zest, right? Rate the zestiness.
It's over 9,000!
Paul Starlight, what's going on, my brother? Guys, make sure to hit the like button, guys. Hit the join button. Hit the super chat button. And guys, you can call in by hitting the StreamYard link. That is linked to the top of the comments, guys. Yeah, guys.
that if they go woke during Pride season, they'll go broke. A lot of people are just tired of the rainbow flag being spread in everyone's face. You can be a proud ally and support the gay community year-round instead of just June for Pride Month. What's crazy is gays spend so much money on all this stuff with like rainbow flags.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
it doesn't even help the gay community. Like, you want to help the gay community, purchase from a small brand, you know? As someone who is in the gay community, like, I always think it's such a joke when they release Pride collections or they
June is Pride Month, and in the wake of the Trump administration's anti-DEI policies, we're seeing a lot of corporate rollback of spending on Pride. New York City Pride has already seen a $750,000 budget shortfall.
Good.
In San Francisco, it's a $200,000 budget shortfall, and rural areas are supposed to see a 70 to 90% pullback on corporate spending on Pride. June is Pride Month, and in the wake of the Trump administration's anti-DEI policies,
Sorry, guys, hold on.
we're seeing a lot of corporate rollback.
Good. I don't feel bad.
Hi, I'm Kylie. Let's talk about how corporations.
Guys, nothing good can come from this knucklehead's mouth, right, guys?
Love Pride Month but hate gay people. Every June, American corporations slap up a rainbow and pretend like everything is totally fine, but in the scenes, they are funding many homophobic policies. Comcast, AT&T, and Home Depot have all donated millions of dollars to support anti-trans legislation. Walmart has donated to lawmakers behind Don't Say Gay bills. Amazon scores high on the LGBTQ index, but was caught selling books that promote conversion therapy. I know you love their chicken, but Chick-fil-A has funded millions of dollars to anti-LGBTQ organizations. It's not support. They are profiting off of us because as queer people, we become disposable every other month of the year except for June. It is a massive cash grab. To these companies, queerness is a branding strategy. It is not about inclusivity. It is about making a profit off of us this month. If you want to actually support queer people, donate to queer organizations, support small businesses, support queer creators. Do your part instead of giving your money to these companies that are exploiting us. Peace and love. Hi, I'm Kylie. Let's talk about corporate.
Right? Huh. And what cash grab, right, guys? Please, you know? On.
Happy Pride Month. In my Target that used to have the Pride section, it's now all USA. Yay. Happy.
Not funny, guys. Why is it that people who hate America won't leave? In the comments, guys, please let me know what you think. Oh, sorry, guys. There was one more. Hold on. Where is this knucklehead at?
I've noticed companies aren't changing their logo.
Guys, look at this guy right here. Or at least I think it's a guy, right? Come on, man.
For Pride Month. Like usually every year they do their little performative activism and, you know, change things to Pride Month themed and, you know, start selling their Pride Month shit. Just for the month, though, because that's not really all they care about. They're not really, you know, allies for real. But I don't even think they're going to try this year. Like, I'm not even really seeing companies changing their logos to Pride at all. Like, they just kind of said, fuck it. We're not even going to try to do the performative activism thing like we even care. Like, it's just not even worth it. And I'm like, I kind of hope that this is not like some DEI initiative. Like, I hope that you guys aren't counting Pride Month as some DEI type of thing. And that's why nobody is changing their logo and nobody's really doing anything for Pride Month. Like, because what? But any other year, y'all make sure to go out of your way to be like, hey, gay. Hi, gays. For 30 days. And then you guys are just like, yeah, anyways, that was cool. That was nice. Thank you for your money, gays. But that was pretty much it. And now this year, you guys aren't even trying to pretend. Like y'all are saying, yeah, no, we're done with that. We're done with the changing our logos to rainbows and all that shit. We're not doing that anymore. I mean, at least y'all are being truthful now. At least y'all are being truthful about it. Like, really, you guys were only changing your logos for monetary reasons during Pride Month. So at least you guys are telling the truth now. Yeah.
I think this guy has a lot more to worry about in life than corporations and Pride Month, right? Look at this. What a bunch of dunderheads, man. Why? Why are they so dumb? Hold on, guys. So we'll take a little pit stop here. Snowboard, what's up, dude?
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Look at this. Now, guys, there's one thing that I hope that Orange Man does is kick all these illegals out. But look at this.
Adams, we're going to go to you next. We're going to change a little bit the situation. Let's say that you learn that ICE is planning to stop immigrants outside your hospitals for possible roundups. Would you?
Do you think it is a problem of the illegal immigrants?
Warn them? And how would you handle this situation? You have a minute.
Now, guys, I can guarantee nothing good's going to come out of this B-Dub's mouth.
Yeah,
right, guys?
yeah.
Nothing
Looks like Lori
good.
Lightfoot.
Yeah. Oh, look at Remixer says that they should deport her for being a traitor. Look at that, guys. Look at that.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Let's go. I tell you guys right now, guys, they should just call ICE like the Green Lantern Corps of America. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight up. These guys, they're everywhere doing the Lord's work. You know, let's go.
You know, it's work that I'm already doing as Speaker of the City Council. So I've already stepped up in leadership to do this. I've had a target on me because I refuse to erode our sanctuary city laws, and I have refused to do this. My mission is and will be when I am mayor is to protect the immigrants of the city of New York.
Look at that. Come on, man. Come on.
New York is a city made up of immigrants. So it is our responsibility to make sure that all New Yorkers, our old New Yorkers and our newer New Yorkers, feel safe in this city. As mayor, I will not kowtow to Donald Trump.
But would you warn them that they're...
I will absolutely use my bully pulpit as the mayor to warn, as I am doing as city council speaker, pretty much.
Why do people put B-Dubs in charge of anything?
Garbage, yeah.
Guys, I wouldn't put a B-Dub in charge of a popsicle stand. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? Yeah, Jade, you said it the best. In charge of immigrants, legal immigrants, not illegal.
Yeah.
Yep.
On a daily basis.
Ms. Adams, we're going to go.
The work that I am currently doing as Speaker, I will expand as the mayor of the city of New York. Donald Trump will know that New York will remain a sanctuary city regardless of his threats and his chaos.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
We will stand because we are a city and a nation, and we will be that model once again for other cities in this country.
Thank you very much,
to take a look at and to work towards
Mr.
becoming
Langer.
like New York.
Thank you.
The work that I am currently.
What a joke. And did you guys see this chick?
Garbage.
So she sued. This chick sued.
She's just trying to say a bunch of catchwords too, like and
look.
Marlene Ames was working for the Ohio Department of Youth Services when
Yeah, and they said you can't get some training or some type of
non-minority
promotion because you're white. They should have told her that. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Oh. Guys, I'm gonna do a video on this, but guys, look. It's Snowboard's ex, okay? Watch.
Like a really traumatic situation where this guy, where he was just like so fucking horrible to me and he just treated me like a stupid black bitch.
Guys, this is after Snowboard said,
sorry, sweetheart, I had to do it.
Who is this guy?
I don't know.
Now watch, guys, here you go.
And it was like so painful for me, and everybody was like, well, you're
Banana
the fucking
peeled
dumbass
out.
because you stayed, and you're just a stupid black bitch because you let him treat you like one. And like, I know that the situation was my fault because I should have just left, but like, it really fucking hurt because like I had sex with him and he basically just like used me for sex. He was like white guy in a frat.
Snowboard, how dare you?
Yeah, sorry.
How dare
Sorry.
you.
Yeah, I was laying pipe.
Now, guys, there's a plot twist here. All right?
And so basically, I ended up seeing him at Target when I was there with my old best friend, like at the time. And he wouldn't look me in the eyes. He wouldn't say anything. It was like he was ashamed of me and just like embarrassed. Which is like how most people get about me, and it was like so fucking painful. And so I stood up for myself and said what I needed to say to him. And he ran away from me when I was speaking to him. And my friend was like, that's
He said,
humiliating. Like she was like, you just embarrass yourself, and like that's pathetic
Wait
for
for
you
it.
as a black woman to
Wait
do
for it.
something that stupid. Like, it hurt so fucking bad because I wasn't even worth being looked in the eye. Like, it hurt so fucking bad. And looking back, and that was the guy who, like, when I asked him to stop during sex, he held me down. Like, that happened a few months after the Target situation.
Look at that!
Yeah. But that's the only way that she will come, is that.
Yeah, listen. But snowboard. She said after he ran away from her in Target, she let him smash again. Look at that.
Oh my god.
Nice. Think about that. Everything she was crying about in Target, and I saw her. She let him smash again. How stupid can you be? What an absolute dunderhead.
Oh man.
Guys, they're the worst. They're the worst, man. Look
Wow.
at that.
And I was like telling my friends, I was like, I'm just fed up being treated like this. It's like every person that I would run into would do this shit to me, like take advantage of me. And they were like, then just don't be a stupid black bitch with a fat ass. And it was like so painful for me. Because I feel like if I tell anybody, they'll just tell me to stop being a stupid slut. And it's like, this is like the last place. Because like I can't.
If I tell anyone about it, they tell me the truth.
You stupid woman.
Oh no.
Talk to my friends about it. Like I can't talk to my parents about this. And like my therapist doesn't understand.
Her therapist, right?
Yeah.
Look at that.
You stupid woman.
I know, guys. I know. You guys' arms are sore from playing the violin. Everyone's saying fake tears. Yeah.
Like I had so much pain right now. Like it was already difficult enough as it is. Like I was growing up, I didn't hate myself. Like really
Look at that, guys.
traumatic situation where this guy.
Look at that, guys.
Wow.
Look at that.
And I don't feel sorry about it either.
Someone says he probably did it to get into the frat. Someone says, I'm ashamed that you're crying over this. Someone says, please explain why you're in Target. Oh yeah, because she's supposed to be woke. Please. Look at that.
And it's funny, actually, when I saw her there, I didn't even know that she was at the store that time. The only reason I knew it was her is she was carrying the basket on top of her head. So I could pick her out from the crowd.
Look at that. Someone says, if your therapist doesn't understand, you need a new therapist. Those are not your friends. You did it a second time. Did he not show you the first time? Girl, stay. Wait, I don't even know. Bad grammar. Look at this. Someone says, wait, she went back after he clowned her at Target. You can't make this up. Someone says, wait, I didn't get that far. Look at that, guys. Absolutely insane.
Wow.
Here we go.
Can you tell us about your sign today?
Well, he's a liar, don't you think?
What do you think is the biggest lie he's told?
I think everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. I think everything that he says, you should believe the opposite.
Any specific examples?
Oh, where do I even begin?
Now, guys, her son is here at the march. What do you think her son looks like?
No.
No, what do you think he looks like? This type of look, woke AF. What do you think her son looks
probably like purple hair, has tism.
Wait for it.
What do you...
You can come join.
This is my son, River.
Hi.
Jesus.
This is the type of chick to
Yeah.
show how friggin' inclusive she is by letting
Oh
Nug
my God. Yeah.
shoot up the club.
Lenny Kravitz.
Someone says, pretty sure this kid's dad is nowhere to be found.
Yeah, Lenny Kravitz bailed on him.
I gotta bring out the race card, dude. It's so funny. Because every now and then in my comments, there's people that just like didn't figure out that I'm black by now. I can't believe you said such horrible things about police. Actually, guys, you know the funniest thing? You guys remember that I did that Valentine's Day single moms video, and then Chow Time Pod he reacted to it, and I guarantee you this chick has mixed race kids. You remember that? Because it was some ghetto looking white chick, and then they pop up on the screen. He's like, I knew it, and Chow Time started laughing. And people in his comments were coming for him. They were coming for him. I can't believe you laughed at that.
How dare you?
Clown world. Absolutely insane. Guys, hit the like button, guys. Hit the join button for a membership, guys. It's just a call-in show, guys. Hit the StreamYard link to call in. Yeah.
What's a lie that Donald Trump has told?
I mean, I don't like him.
That he's not going to fuck this country over. He already has. The tariffs are not going to cost the American people money. That he's not going to lie to us. Trust me, everything will be fine.
Do you think Trump is a Nazi?
Less so than Elon Musk.
Pardon?
Less so than Elon Musk, but I mean, they're working together.
You believe Elon Musk is a Nazi?
Yeah.
Why do you believe that?
Through the fucking Sieg Heil thing up during his speech.
So until then, you didn't think he was?
I thought he was wacko, but I didn't think he was Nazi.
What do you think is the most Nazi-like thing Elon Musk has done?
Threw the Sieg Heil up.
Why do you think the Democrats lost last November? But any like specific reason? Was it their lack of like compelling messaging or a rejection of the status quo? Like why do you think they couldn't pull off a win?
Maybe third-party votes. I feel like the third-party.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. He's trying to sound intelligent.
Yeah. But this is what TikTok
That was
has
no
told them,
problem. Yeah.
right? You know, I mean, come on.
Had no
Jill
chance. It was
Stein or the Green Party was involved.
Yeah.
Which
No
third-party
way.
candidate?
who was the third-party candidate that people were voting for?
Independent? I'm not sure.
Independent.
I'm not sure who the third party candidate was.
If I'm being honest, I only wanted to vote against Trump.
There it is.
That election. I didn't care for Biden.
Can you tell us?
All right, guys. See? Right there. Right there. And these are the types of people why Knucklehead Harris lost. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hilarious. Let me see.
Well, I mean, Kamala Harris really did her best, but she still succeeds in my eyes.
I see what you did there. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Hold on, guys. There was one more thing we can look at here. Okay, guys.
I like this Targon of a card guy.
Yeah.
He's pretty good sometimes.
Guys, this is girl math, okay?
These are all myths. There's no ethnicity
They are
commits
not
more
myths
crime than
at
the
all.
other. No
Not
ethnicity in this country commits more crime than the other.
Why would you
They
say that?
don't.
Why would you
Because
say
there's
that?
no
Guys, come on. She honestly believes that? She honestly believes that
It's
no...
impossible.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
evidence to prove that brown people commit more crime.
What evidence would you look for?
What do you mean?
What would be evidence that there's a difference in criminality between ethnicities?
Because there's what? Sorry, explain that. What do you mean?
See, this is only something a white woman can say. Okay.
Snowboard.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
What were you saying, my friend?
It's such a thing that like a white woman or just a woman would say, because no one's going to interrupt her and be like, what are you even talking about? She just gets wine drunk with her friends saying this. It hasn't actually thought about it. No one has said like, well, can you give me 1 point to back it up? Just 1 point. Just like how they asked those other people, like, what is one thing that he lied about? And Trump does lie about that. They all lie about something, but have kind of an example that you believe in. This person doesn't really believe in anything. They just believe in the attention they get from shouting this stuff.
The snowboard. Here's the thing. How many feminists have I brought up where they're like, actually, it's not safe for women in this country. We go and we get catcalled, and all the men from all the migrants are making it not safe in London, right? So how do you have chicks saying that, and now they're finally getting canceled because after they were trying to cancel men, now they're getting canceled, right? So you hear knuckleheads like this trying to say it's actually safe. There's nothing wrong with that. Please,
statistics.
Yeah, statistics. Like if you were looking for statistics to suggest that one ethnic group was more prone to commit criminal acts than another, what kind of statistics would you look for?
Well, the government official statistics.
Yeah, but what kind of statistics? What would it show?
Dude, you're freaking talking calculus to a 5-year-old. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like guys like him and Andrew Wilson and stuff, they have so much patience. Because I'd be throwing F-bombs, you know what I'm saying?
Prison population, maybe?
Yeah, go on, man. You tell me. I don't know.
Then it's definitely that some ethnicities commit more crimes than others.
No.
Muslims and blacks are massively overrepresented in prisons.
White people are overrepresented in prisons.
No,
because Britain is majority white, you dunderhead. He's talking about per capita, you absolute dunderhead. Why are they so stupid? Why?
Some people are really fucking stupid.
It's like he's speaking Greek. And guys, look, he knows that he's... Guys, I guess what you need to understand, guys, is that a debate is not about the person that you're debating. It's about the audience. This guy knows that this woman looks like an absolute dunderhead, right? So he's just going to sit there and just let her dig herself to China.
They're underrepresented.
I don't know. That's not true, Carl.
It is absolutely
None of this is true.
No, it's
yeah, guys. So in Britain, the population is 81.1%, which is crazy for Britain, guys. It should be a lot higher than this. Sorry. That's how I feel. There's no reason why. Because if you go to Finland, you go to Sweden, then it's like 99% Swedish and Finnish. If you go to China or Japan, they're like 97%. Why is it that this is not okay? This is not, and this is falling more and more. Look, 4% is black, and blacks make up 12.1% of the British prison population. Look at that, guys. And then Asian.
God.
Guys,
that's a lot.
here's the thing. Guys, Asian in the UK means Pakistani, Middle Eastern, etc. Okay?
Like
they use it
everything.
differently than us. Huh?
It means a lot. Like I was gonna say it means like almost everything. It means like a lot more.
They don't describe Koreans and Chinese as Asian. They have that classification usually means Indians and Pakistanis. Okay, that's what this means. So when he says black and brown, look at they're 9.3% of the population, and they're 8% of the prison population. That's crazy. God. Look at that, and even mixed 2.9% to 4%. That's insane, guys. That's insane. Oliver, what's up, dude?
You're just making up things.
I'm not making up anything.
True. Are you
Why would I make it up?
Are you saying our prisons are actually a majority black and brown people?
Why does it have to be majority?
No.
Why does it have to be majority?
But then what is it then?
Well, it's something like 30% black. But
Right, okay, so then it's not. So therefore it's still more white people.
Yeah, but this is per capita. But out of a population of 3% black, if the prison population is 30% black, it should be 3% black to be accurately represented. Right?
You said it's 30%. I need to see that. I don't believe that at all.
I need to see that. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't know how to do maths. Not at all. Please. Why are they so... Guys, This is what I mean by arrogantly ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
They're arrogantly ignorant. This chick needs that like Sesame Street bouncing ball bouncing on subtitles to understand anything.
Well, I don't think that's all. Maybe a prison where there's more
Muslims as well are also.
Here you go. I can't read that, but okay. Christians are 46.2% of the population. They're 44% of the prison population. Muslims are 6.5%, and they're 17.8% of the prison population. Look at that. Guys, the UK is cooked. Guys, put in the comments, guys, how cooked is the UK?
Super cooked. How about that?
Cooked as a kebab.
Make sure it's not pork.
I know, right?
And
Yeah.
for white people.
Oh no! Don't worry. It's sheep. They're sheep.
Yeah, but white people are not. They're underrepresented in the prisons.
No,
it is the case. But the thing is, why wouldn't it be the case? Like, what are you appealing to?
because what I'm saying to you is because
My feelings, as I know, I've got a feeling in my vag. Please.
we're a majority white country.
Yeah, but when you say there's
Obviously, we're a
you
majority
said there's
white
no
country.
difference. Why would there be no difference
What do you mean no difference in the
in the criminality rates
yes.
of different ethnic groups? Why would there be no difference?
because there is because we can't target. There's no proof to target that black or brown people commit more crime. There's
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
absolutely no evidence to that. No, there's
Of course
not.
there is.
There's absolutely no evidence.
Look at
That's
Why even try, right? Why even try?
And this is why I want space aliens to come get me off this planet, man.
Let me see here. What? Hold on, guys. There's one more thing here. All these people being jailed. Ooh, look at this, guys. Let's go. Let's go. This is only the last thing, guys, and then I'm gonna shut this bad boy down. Guys, look at this. Shadow Police Force is removing homeless from downtown Nashville. Guys, so basically they're just pulling up with a van. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Here we go.
I find it deeply troubling, and I think it's quite insidious.
Yeah, that's the reaction tonight to what some are calling a shadow police force in downtown Nashville. Good evening. I'm Lauren Lowry.
And I'm Tracy Cornett. It is all tied into our chief investigator.
I can't hear you. Your outfit's too loud.
Freaking Big Bird.
Please, thin blurred line reporting. Now, Jeremy, it's important to say who these police aren't.
Yeah, that's right, Tracy. They are not Metro Police. They are not sheriff's deputies, and they're certainly not security guards driving unmarked cars like this. But a WSMV4 investigation found they have made hundreds of arrests of homeless people in this area of downtown Nashville using unmarked cars like we just...
And they were just standing around, just minding their own business. Please. They weren't doing drugs openly. They weren't stealing or robbing or peeing on the sidewalk or taking a Duke. Come on, man.
Showed you
to
take them to jail.
And this is what rich liberals would actually love, because they actually do want homeless people gone. They just don't want to see it or know about it. This is actually kind of what a lot of people want. Liberals and Dems. I mean,
Love me,
conservatives.
love me, love me. I'm a liberal.
Wait.
Off-duty police detail is coming forward tonight, saying their directive from their bosses is clear: remove the homeless to improve the city's image.
Let's go! Dude, Nash Vegas, man, right? Guys, hey, anyone in the chat.
Tennessee does a lot of good stuff.
If you want to bang a drunken kind of country girl, right?
Yeah. A live, laugh, love 304. That's what you get.
These are the cowboy hat, cowboy boot wearing, Jim Beam swilling 304s. These conservative chicks, they leave their morals at the airport right when they get to right when they get to the airport in Nashville. So
you have a diesel truck, you just in a cowboy hat, you just go to 304s. They love that.
And you're about to see how a whistleblower says homeless are being secretly cleared out of downtown Nashville, arrested and jailed, but not by Metro Police.
I find it deeply troubling, and I think
Crap, I gotta go.
Yeah, because your boyfriend got arrested.
All right, Oliver, take it easy, man.
it's quite insidious.
WSMV4 Investigates watched as Michael Lambert, a homeless man sitting on Lower Broadway, suddenly stood up when this man in a yellow shirt identifying him as a downtown ambassador came to talk to him. What did he say to you?
They told me I couldn't sit. You got to stand up.
You can see Lambert quickly did it because he knows what happens if he doesn't. In this 2023 affidavit, Lambert was doing the same thing, found to be obstructing a temporary access passageway, found sitting on the sidewalk with an open container of alcohol. He was placed under arrest, but not by Metro Police. Instead, by a state trooper using unmarked cars like this one.
Let's go!
What this whistleblower describes as a secretive unit often summoned by downtown ambassadors with one clear directive.
Our job is to police
That's
the homeless
baller.
community.
This whistleblower should know he's one of the state troopers working the unit.
Profiling is what it is.
The troopers, they want to with you.
Did you ever think it was strange that state troopers were down here?
Always. I mean, they should be out on the interstate.
Of all the divisions the THP displays on its website, there is no mention of patrolling downtown Nashville. Here's where the trooper says the lines get blurred. He says while they are in uniform working for the unit, they aren't working for the state.
Yeah,
They're
there you
being
go.
paid for part-time work with private dollars by the downtown partnership through a contract with the security company Solarin, which
Let's
is at
go.
the center of our thin blurred line investigation.
So whoever owns this company is making a lot of money. And you're going to see this more and more in different cities. You know what I'm saying? Especially ones that are really trying to up the tourism. You know what I'm saying?
Paid not to
Yeah,
be security,
and a lot of that
but to
is
be.
liberals in gated communities. They want private security that can actually
Yeah.
do like more than
Sure.
a cop would.
Police. But wait a minute. You may be asking, why would private businesses even need a police force if Metro Police has their own precinct on Lower Broadway? This trooper says the businesses who are part of the downtown partnership are frustrated, saying Metro Police isn't focused on the homeless.
There you go.
These companies were fed up with that, and so they were paying Solarin to pay us to police downtown Nashville.
This trooper says almost immediately he started regretting working part-time for the unit.
Yeah, right.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Hey, why don't you give those fat paychecks back?
Yeah.
Photos like these, taken by the troopers, were being passed around to show how homeless could be removed from Lower Broadway simply for sitting or holding signs.
If his arms are out wide and he's holding a cardboard sign out, he's blocking people from walking, right? And so they would say, so you can arrest him. Let's say,
Go to California. Right, guys? You know? So
They're trying to prevent it from becoming like San Francisco, and
Yeah.
they have to draw a line somewhere.
Yep.
Press were dismissed. In Lambert's case, the DA's office nollied the charge, meaning they decided not to prosecute.
I just think it's so cruel and so dehumanizing.
Oh, here, where do you live, you biggin? Why don't you house them in your house, right?
Ali Wallace is the executive director of Open Table Nashville, a homeless advocacy group.
How many people that this little shadow police force is arresting, how many of them are getting the services
How many people did you eat? How about that?
they need, the resources they need to not be back out on the streets again?
There will be people that'll see this story and they will say, listen, I don't have a problem with them removing homeless from downtown.
Like us, guys, right?
Yeah.
Let's go.
It actually makes it look better. What would you say to them?
I don't think it looks good for our city to penalize people for having nowhere else to go.
She's a pot smoking slut.
Yeah. These friggin' broads, man. This is why you don't let them lead anything. You don't let them. Come on, man. The 19th. Really?
They might be off-putting to have them downtown, but they're.
And the last.
Anyways, guys, all right, we're at the hour and a half mark, guys. I will be live at 9 o'clock tonight, guys, as usual. So, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for the memberships, guys. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks, Snowboard, as usual.
Yep.
Yeah, guys,
I'll
talk
be on tonight too.
9 o'clock tonight. Bye, guys.
All right. See ya.